Funland. Funland is a FEC, Family Entertainment Center, in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It is a large FEC. It's kind of one of those borderline FECs, kind of like Fun Spot, where, you know, before they built GCI coasters and brought in all their rides, they were an FEC, and now they kind of broke that meld into an amusement park. Figured I would show you guys a little bit about what we have.
We need to get season passes.
Yes.
So we are a 7-acre family entertainment center with a 40,000 square foot indoor facility that has over 100 games, arcade games, 8 rides and attractions on the inside, 18 rides and attractions total, with over 100 games. In 2018, we have added several things. Now, unlike a normal amusement park, usually an amusement park, when they're adding something, they get to shut down and do a lot of their construction and stuff in what they would call their off-season. We have 2 days where we're closed. That's Christmas and Thanksgiving. We're open every day other than those 2 days unless there's a snow day. So when we work on something in our park, we have to not only do it while we're open, but we have to do it in a very short time frame because whatever we're doing inside our building or outside our building takes away from the guest experience. So some of the projects that we worked on in 2018, we have Clip and Climb, which we just put up, which is our climbing walls. We did have a rock wall that we removed in order to make way for our Clip and Climb. We also removed something else. Does anybody else know what we removed to, yeah?
Jetstar.
The Jetstar roller coaster we had to take out. I know, a coaster credit. Took out the Jetstar coaster. It has now moved to Vermont, so it's now up in Vermont. We're very happy that somebody was able to take it and still use it in another facility. So they have that. We knew that we were going to be building another big coaster down the road, or big for us anyway, so that's why we're able to make that transition. We also put in Hologate Virtual Reality in March of this year. So we opened Clip and Climb. It took us 2 weeks to build Clip and Climb and put it up. That includes the teardown of the Jetstar coaster. And you know, we had to put in a rubber floor for Clip and Climb, and all of the walls had to be erected, and we had to do some stuff to the walls to attach it to the ceiling, so it was kind of an interesting project. Hologate only took 2 days to put in. It's kind of a video game on steroids. We have a 4-player area where you can put on the virtual reality masks, and we have 5 different game types that we offer with Hologate. It is an SBS spin coaster that we were able to fit inside of our building. We had to actually remove one attraction and relocate another attraction in order to get this inside of our building. And as we were building Clip and Climb, we actually had to move Clip and Climb before construction started, because we thought, well, if we wanted to build a roller coaster, it's not going to fit unless Clip and Climb is 4 feet towards the door. So we moved that 4 feet towards the door, and when we did that, the next day we put a deposit down on the roller coaster. So it was kind of the determining factor on what we were going to do moving forward. The roller coaster arrived on June, I want to say June 2nd or 3rd. It was a Monday, and by that Friday it was operational. So it only took us 5 days to not bring it into the building. Well, first we had to unload it. It came on 2 semi-trucks, so we had to unload it, bring it into our building, erect it, and then test it and do all the permitting in order to get it open. And we were able to have our first riders on it by that Friday evening. So again, very, very quick timeline. Most of our rides and attractions inside the building, like our bumper cars. That bumper cars was a 2-week project. Our mini bowling was a 2-week project. So everything we try to keep as quick as possible, because when we are doing this, we're removing one attraction to replace it with another. And again, any time that's down is time that people are buying unlimited wristbands and not able to use it on a ride or attraction. So So 2019, we have a new attraction coming, and you guys will be able to tour the site later today. There's not much going on the site right now. They just finished land clearing, and erection starts next week. Test, test. There we go. All right, so we have a $1.2 million go-kart track. This go-kart track is going to be the first multi-level track in Virginia. It is going to be one of the, it's going to be obviously the tallest go-kart track in Virginia because it's the only multi-level. It's going to be 30 feet tall. Yes, 30 feet tall. What's that?
Steepest?
Well, yep, it'll have steepest too because it's the only multi-level. Yeah. All right, it is not the longest though. I believe Motor World out in Virginia Beach has the longest. They have a really, really long track, so hard to beat that one. So yeah, we have our new go-kart track going in. Let me move to the slides. This is actually the go-kart track in Atlanta. Fun Spot, you guys know Fun Spot, right? Yeah. This is Fun Spot Atlanta's go-kart track. Now, Fun Spot was kind enough to work with us in building our go-kart track. So their engineer who builds their go-kart tracks with a unique wood design with the cement flooring, so it gives a smoother ride. Their engineer is the one who built our track, or I shouldn't say built, designed our track. So we're going to be able to offer that same kind of experience. Again, we're going to be going over to the site. The building right here, this is still going to exist. Fun Slide is going to be up in this corner up here. That right now is closed because it's actually inside of our construction area. The land clearing, all of the actual track has been removed. And as of, today is Saturday, as of Thursday, they have finished doing the land clearing on it. And they started doing all the markings for the pillars that are going to be going in. So we are going to have 144 of the pillars that are going to go in to support the track in the air. You can't really tell from this design here, but most of the most of the go-kart track is actually up in the air. So from right here all the way over to this helix, that's up in the air, and this helix here all the way down to here. So the only part that's actually on the ground is right here and right at the entrance of the pit going into the first helix. Everything else is going to be up in the air. So very, very cool design in the go-kart track. And we actually had to take up a big portion of our parking lot for a staging area for the construction, which materials start arriving tomorrow for the construction crew. The construction crew arrives today, so it's very exciting. This evening they're pulling in from Connecticut. And just a quick overview of about 2 weeks ago what was going on the site. You can actually see the upper right-hand corner. A lot of the track has already been removed there, and they're working on removing the front part of the track. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the events that we have at Funland that make us unique. The staple events that we do in the park, our first one is going to be our White Castle food truck. Again, Fun Spot did this about 4 or 5 years ago, and they had like 10-hour waits for White Castle burgers. We said, okay, well, we want to give it a try. We contacted the White Castle food truck. It took us over 2 years to situate a date that they could come to the park. And once they came to the park and saw the popularity of White Castle, Virginia, they decided that they wanted to come back at least twice a year. So right now they come twice a year, usually in the spring and fall. Their next time that they're going to be here is going to be in May. And we don't get 10-hour waits. So we bring a lot of support for them in order to cut down the wait time. But if you are going to wait, and if the waits get over an hour, we usually give out a number system so people can go play in the park while they're waiting for their food. And then once their food is finished, we call a group of numbers up so they can pick up their food. So it's a great way for you to be able to pass the time, but thankfully the last 3 or 4 times they've been here, the waits have been under a half hour. So they've been able to come and bring White Castle to Fredericksburg and Virginia. We also sell White Castle year-round, so we don't cook it in the traditional White Castle way. We cook it in the Funland way. So it's not as good as the Funland burger. The White Castle burgers are when they come with the food truck, because they actually prepare it just like they would in the store. Closest White Castle to here is 5 hours. So they bring it down, and everybody's able. And this truck actually comes from Kentucky. It comes down twice a year from Kentucky. We also have our movies on the Midway. It's kind of hard to see that slide, but every Friday all the way through the summer we offer free movies for our community. We partner with Pepsi on this. Pepsi helps us with the paying of the rights to play the movies. and we also do character meet and greets with the movies as well. So before the movie, we usually have characters out there. This is a mermaid because we did Little Mermaid. We've done a Lion King. We had a ringtail lemur. Thank you. Ringtail lemur came out to do the Lion King premiere. We also did Beauty and the Beast, where we had Belle, Frozen, Elsa and Anna, and we had Moana with Moana. And so we had a lot of great Disney movies this spring and summer. And we tried to do some in the fall. We're actually teaming up with B101.5 this year to bring movies on the Midway off of the Midway, and we're going to be doing our fall movies with Fredericksburg Parks and Rec and B101.5 outside of the park. So we'll still have all summer long. We'll have movies in the park. We're really looking forward to that. And again, it's a free event we offer. Season pass holders get to come in. They don't have to pay anything. They can put a blanket down, watch the movie, or if you want to come and enjoy the park beforehand, you're also able to do that. All right, one of our big events that we do in October is our Maze of Darkness. So here's a little preview. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's dark. The spoiler alert is we actually control the flashlight. So we say, well, it is a cheap Walmart flashlight, but we have gutted it and put in our own control system that allows us to turn on and off this flashlight while you're going through the maze. So we have a button. We usually have only 5 characters in the maze at a time, and we have to get really good at knowing where we're going because, again, it's pitch black for us. So that means all we have is a little finger light to try to find our way through, and sometimes we just go, nah, I don't need the finger light, and then we run into each other or other walls. So we only have about 5 people in there, but we're able to scare one group at a time and travel through the maze and make it seem like there's a lot more in there than just the 5 people. In fact, some of us even have multiple masks in there so we can switch out our mask, and by the time you get to the end of the maze, we're a totally different character. So it's definitely a fun maze. For some people, it's the scariest maze, and some people it's, all right. We do have a safe word for our maze as well, so if you say the word Big Bird, we turn on the lights of the maze and we exit that one person. So if it's a group of 10, well, we wouldn't do that big of a group. If it's a group of 6, we would remove the one person who said Big Bird, turn off the lights, and the 5 remaining people could then go through.
If you say Big Bird 3 times, does he appear?
No. And, you know, other people have tried Elmo, and we just tickle you if you do that, so... All right, that's a basic rundown of the staple events that we do through the year at Funland. I want to thank you guys, and if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer any questions.